Hey guys, Mark here with another fragrance review, this time on the designer house of Dolce Gabbana. This one, basically their answer to all the top selling fresh fragrances in the men's section. We all know way too many fragrances that are top seller in the men's section that are fresh fragrances. This was their answer to the Acqua di Gios of the world. This one called Light Blue Pour Homme. Now, Light Blue Pour Homme, this fragrance review may be a deja vu to a lot of you, just because, yes, this is a re-review on this fragrance. I reviewed it back in 2009 when I first started, when I was like a rookie on YouTube, doing fragrance reviews, and I was pumping out reviews like crazy. And I felt like this one was deserving of a re-review, and here we are today. Now let's get on to it. Now, Dolce Gabbana, it was a brand back in the day that really didn't release too many men's fragrances. They had the classic Pour Homme, and they had a few releases here and there, but just recently, after they released this one was a top seller like from day one, guys, and it was selling a lot and a lot. Now, Dolce Gabbana's parent company, Procter & Gamble, kind of saw, oh, money signs. So they've been releasing a lot more fragrances, as you can see, the one gentleman and sport flankers and stuff like this. So you're seeing a lot more from the house. Back in the day, they weren't releasing that much. This was actually my second bottle from Dolce Gabbana. Of course, my first was Pour Homme, the classic, of course. This now won an award, and with me on my channel back in 2009, I actually gave this a score of a 7 bottles out of 10. Actually, that's pretty solid on my channel. And we'll see now in 2013, is it going to hold on to that 7 bottles out of 10? Is it going to get any more, any less? I can't deny that it is a top seller across the world. A lot of people have purchased this fragrance. So let's get to it. We're going to start off this review with, of course, a look back to my 2009 review on this fragrance. A little clips here and there to refresh your memory. And then we're going to get on to the proper review here in 2013. Let's go.
And this is the reason why I got this. So it's actually going head to head against all the other aquatics, namely this guy, Bulgari Aqua, and of course the head honcho, this one, Acqua di Gio by Armani. This is a safe scent. No one will really get bothered or offended from it. Well, give it a 7 out of 10. Reason why it does what it was asked to do. It's a summer scent. Most of them don't last too long.
Let's tackle presentation for Dolce Gabbana's Light Blue Pour Homme. And as you can see here, guys, there's something missing in the frame. Yes, the bottle's best friend, the box, is not in this full presentation. Unfortunately, guys, this was one of the rare fragrances that I purchased from an actual friend in my hometown. He went to a store here in my hometown, Sears, of course, and that's one of the rare places that actually sells fragrances in my small little hometown. My collection wasn't so big at the time, so he was willing to sell this to me. Unfortunately, like 99% of people, he threw out the box, and I didn't get the box when I purchased it from him. So unfortunately, this is all we're getting. Now, I wanted to tackle something else. I was looking at my old video of Light Blue Pour Homme, and I saw comments below. They were saying, bro, your bottle's fake, bro. Your cap, it's fake, bro. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What you talking about? And one of my subscribers was kind enough to send me a link of some guy on YouTube showing 2 bottles of Light Blue, saying one's fake, one's real. And I just started going, oh, this is what it is. Now, we're going a little crazy here with fakes, guys. There's a lot of people that are really paranoid, especially on Base Notes here on YouTube. I'm going a little crazy. We're going a little nuts here. Now, you guys know, I know my stuff with fragrances. I'm going to let you guys know a little bit about this little sucker here. This is the topic of discussion on my old video, the cap. It doesn't look like the cap that's in stores now, and I'm going to explain that to you guys. When Light Blue first came out in stores, this is what the presentation looked like with this little light blue cap. Yes, this is a vintage bottle. In circa 2010, give or take, they changed the cap to a nice bright cap, and they changed the sprayer and everything. And they did the same thing with just recently with their Pour Homme bottle. They actually changed, they reformulated it, and they changed the bottle presentation. So FYI, know your bottle is not fake if you got the blue cap, unless you're getting it from a street vendor somewhere crazy. So Just to let you guys know, this is a vintage presentation, and no, bro, my bottle ain't fake, bro. So let's take a look at it. Now, smoke glass, as you can see here, beautiful smoke glass. Now, if I run my hand through here, the writing, I can feel it. I can feel the writing. So it's embossed here. It says light blue, put arm right here. Cap, very simplistic. You got a sticker at the bottom, and the sprayer is okay. It works. That's all I need. So guys, let's get to the review of Dolce Gabbana Light Blue. It ain't fake, bro. Let's take a look at bottle sizes for light blue poudre homme. Comes in multiple bottle sizes. You got the 1.3 ounce, the 2.5 ounce, and the 4.2 ounce. This guy that you're looking at right here is the 2.5 ounce bottle. Now pricing, American retail, you're looking at around $40 to $80 American. Again, Dolce Gabbana fragrances are pretty pricey, especially when they first come out. You're looking at around $60 to almost $80, a premium price. You know, the Chanel, the Dior's, they're going against head-to-head against those guys. This one was released in late 2000s, so again, it's been on the market for a few years now, so your favorite discounter may have it, so shop around, look around, and you'll probably find a discount on this guy right here. Flankers, they just released a flanker on light blue, which is simply called Living Stromboli. I believe that's also a fresh fragrance. I have not put my nose on it yet, but I believe it's getting mixed reviews on the internet, so we'll see. Perhaps I'll get a bottle later on. Now this one hit the shelves back in 2007. It has made one of my top 10 lists. It actually made one of my most important top 10 lists. My top 10 most complimented list for designers of all time. Yes, this is probably one of the best fresh fragrances that I use for compliments, guys. It made number 10 on that list, but I can't deny that every time I wear it, I get lots of compliments. So it's one of the best ones for compliments, for sure. Group, citrus aromatic. Pet Fumier, of course, a all-star Pet Fumier, Alberto Morales. He has done a lot of great fresh fragrances like CK1, Bulgarian Man, 212 Man, Acqua di Gio. He's done a great fragrance like Givenchy's Pie. So this guy has a huge resume. He knows how to make a top seller for you. And the proof is in the pudding. This is a top seller. Recommended age, basically any. For light blue poudre homme, I really see teenagers, the whole spectrum, guys. Great for teens, college kids. This one is basically for everybody and anybody. How many sprays and where? Now I go actually quite a bit of sprays with this fragrance for some reason. More the merrier. I go 6 sprays with this guy. A lot of sprays, yes I know. 1 on the chest, my first one on the chest, 3 on the neck. Now usually I hit the 2 pulse points here on the neck, and either in the back of the neck, here at my hairline, or actually right here, the bottom of my neck. That's the 3rd spray, and then 2 sprays, 1 on each arm, and then I'm set. Usually in hot weather, this one does really great with that spraying combo. Try it out. Now let's take a look at the notes. Now the notes are going to be really fresh with this one. You're looking at the top notes of mandarin, juniper, grapefruit, and bergamot, so very juicy and a lot of citruses. Now in the mid, you got rosemary, rosewood, and pepper, so you got some herbal notes in here. You got, of course, the nice spice of pepper. And in the base, we got musk, oak moss, and incense. Major players with this one, of course, all the fresh notes in the introduction. The pepper is a major player, and in the base, I would say mostly the musk. So let's get to it. Let's sniff out Light Blue Poudre Homme. Time to sniff out Light Blue by D&G. Let's see what this fragrance gives me. I'm gonna let you guys know what this fragrance smells like from top to bottom, in depth. And of course this introduction, I'm expecting a rock star introduction just because this is a top seller across the world. And it must have impressed a lot of noses to be a top seller like this. So let's sniff it out. And from first sniff, you automatically get brought into the freshness of Light Blue. It's one of those fresh fragrances that's going to show you, yes, I am a top seller in the men's section. I'm going to give you a lot, and it does in the introduction. It brought me to the shores of the Mediterranean, guys. Really like Acqua di Gio. Kind of really felt like I was in Italy and I was on the shores, and really kind of felt like that. Very fresh, breezy, watery. That's what it brings me. Now the fresh notes mixed in with some herbs. There's some pepper. There's a little bit of kick in here. Automatically brought me to Italy. And Acqua di Gio kind of gives you that. It gives you that aquatic, marine-like feel, but also gives you kind of herbs and kind of like Italy. Now, I detect on the fresh side of light blue the mandarin front and center. The bergamot and grapefruit kind of brighten things up a little bit and can be too sour to some users. I know a lot of people were complaining about light blue, that introduction, a little too sour for me. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind when testing out this fragrance. Now, I did start detecting some of the greens and the herbs that kind of mix things up here to make it, this intro, not too fresh, not too citrusy, kind of giving it some depth. You know, you don't want, sometimes you do want just like a lemon zest and that's it, something like really linear and very fresh. This one has more depth to it, so you can actually wear it as a signature scent. You can wear it to work and all seasons basically, just because it does have a little bit of depth there. I received a small drop of juniper in here also, which is definitely showing a different side in fragrances. Rosewood also, secondary notes, but not enough to make them really stand out in the fragrance. But it was something a little different from other fragrances that you get in, of course, the top-selling fresh genre. Now, the major players in this intro were the bergamot, the grapefruit, the mandarin. Of course, a lot of the fresh fragrances or notes in this fragrance. There was a small shake of pepper in here to give it some punch. Very appealing, easygoing, fresh, mainstream introduction. Blended well to make it really hard to detect some of the notes. I know a lot of people are going to detect the pepper easily and some of the fresh notes, but it was really blended well by Alberto. A crowd pleaser in the introduction, yes indeed. Now, once you hit the heart of a Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Pour Homme, in the mid, the rosemary pops off just a little bit. It comes up a little bit. Think like Eau Sauvage by Dior. The rosemary note is in that fragrance also. It's actually a note that's very familiar in a lot of men's fresh fragrances. Check it out on Fragrantica and all that. There's a lot of these freshies that are top sellers that have that beautiful rosemary note that goes with this aquatic type feel and the herbal notes. Really nice. The pepper is basically your main player now. It really does come up. It's soft enough that it doesn't really take over the whole fragrance like pepper sometimes does in some fragrances. I get a clean, woody hit here too. Again, very subtle. There's a lot of notes in here that could have pushed the envelope a little bit more, but they were really subtle, soft to actually make this really versatile and easy to wear. Now the greens, citruses, the spices are really just all blended masterfully here. I must say that it was really well blended. Not much has changed here in the mid from, of course, the introduction. Just the pepper really amped up a little bit. The rosemary kind of came out. The woods kind of came out a little bit. And the citruses start dying down slowly in light blue. Now let's get into the base of this fragrance. The base really is just the clean white musk. It hits you right here to finish this fragrance right off. There's a little bit of the pepper, the woods burning off a little bit. The incense and oak moss combo was tame here to almost non-existent. I really, when I took my second stab at light blue to start testing it out again, I was trying to pinpoint that incense. A lot of people do feel it in light blue. I never really felt a lot of incense in this fragrance, unfortunately, so not much here. The citruses really have left the building in this base and won't be found in the last few hours, so you're just going to get that clean white musk and the pepper in the woods kind of burning off. So let's get to the overview on Light Blue Pour Homme. Alright gentlemen, welcome to the overview on Dolce Gabbana's Light Blue Pour Homme. First thing I want to tackle in the overview on this fragrance is the woman's version of this fragrance. Yes, light blue for women. That one, the general consensus is a lot of people prefer the woman's version than this men's version. They believe that it's much more complex, well blended, and just an overall better fragrance than this one. Even men. I know a lot of men that actually wear light blue for women. Now personally, I like the woman's version. Yeah, I like it. But I still think this one has a place on your shelf. Now, depending on how many fragrances you have, especially in the fresh shot, if you already own Acqua di Gio or Bulgari's Aqua or Versace Meno Fresh, then yeah, this one might come out as being redundant. But it has to be in the discussion, especially if you're looking for a brand new fragrance and you kind of are looking for an aquatic fragrance. I really think that if you like these top seller fragrances, this one has to be in the discussion. Matter of fact, this is your stereotypical fresh aquatic fragrance on the market. There's nothing really new here. It's an old formula that works, and it is pleasing for a light blue fragrance. Not offensive, and very light. This is a great fragrance for someone who wants something light, something not too bold. The citrus in here disappointed me a little bit. Does not pop as much as other fresh fragrances. I could probably name 2 or 3 that actually have a juicier citrus than this, of course, but with this you're looking at the blend mostly, not just the citrus, but I just wanted to point that out. The men's fragrance counter has an overabundance of fresh citrus aquatics on the market. It's what sells, and this is right in that category. Basically, simply stated, you only need 1 of these in your collection because they are light, easy to wear, versatile, and they are yet dime a dozen. This might not appeal to a fragrance head like myself unless you had a history with it. To be honest, like somebody that does have or own over 50 bottles in their collection, they might already own Acqua di Gio Eau Fraiche. They might own like 4 or 5 of these fragrances, fresh, versatile fragrances. So this one might be lost in the shuffle. And for me, again, with my summer wearings, this one kind of does get lost in the shuffle from time to time. It did remind me of many fresh fragrances, and I believe it was made with quality just because of the name behind it. Montrealis does great fragrances, but can be a little typical to an advanced nose. Now, why would you hate this fragrance? Again, kind of typical to a advanced frag head. Longevity problems with this one, yes. Generic is another word that's pinpointed with this one. Someone that doesn't really like aquatic type fragrances, this might not be up your alley, guys. So definitely do your research before purchasing or blind buying this fragrance. Now, bottles. Again, I name dropped a few: Versace Man Eau Fraiche, Acqua di Gio, Polo Blue, Carrie's Aqua. Every brand has one of these. Now, best time to wear this fragrance: work, casual use, daily. Can be a signature scent. I believe this is signature worthy. It has enough depth to it to be worn in fall, spring, summer. Yes, even during winter, just for a work scent. Yeah, why not? My 2 cents on this one: I don't believe this one deserves the hate that it gets. It's definitely not a 0 or a 1 on the Richter scale like some say it is. I believe it's solid in a safe way. I think you can do much worse than this, but then again, you can do much better or much more interesting. It all comes down to your journey with this scent and where you are in your own fragrance journey. So basically, you know, if you're an advanced frag head and you have a whole bunch of fresh fragrances in your collection, this one might not stand out for you. But if you only have 2 or 3 bottles, this one might have a soft spot in your heart when you start building your collection, and it might be your fresh fragrance. For me, EDG does that for me. I really think Acqua di Gio is my fresh fragrance. It does really well on my skin, and this one's kind of like, it would replace it if it was discontinued, we'll say. Compliment factor, again, really high. It was one of my top 10s of all time. I made it for a reason, and every time I wear this, you know, compliments galore. People love this stuff on me. Bichar Pass, this one, again, this one is, you know, it doesn't really stand out that much for me. It's kind of got lost in the shuffle, of course. It's not that bad that it's, you know, collecting dust. I'm still wearing it from time to time, so I'm going to give it a try. I really think it depends where you are in your journey and who you are. I think it's an excellent fragrance for you, and I could see somebody wearing this as a signature, actually. So guys, let's get to the rating system and see how Light Blue Pour Homme does against the rest. See you, boys. All right, guys, let's rate Light Blue Pour Homme by Dolce Gabbana. Projection, 6 bottles out of 10. Pretty decent projection on this one, and then it sits close to the skin for the last few hours. Longevity, 6 bottles out of 10. I'm a good 4 to 6 hours, sometimes a little more, so it just got a little higher score here on the longevity. Versatility, 8 bottles out of 10. This is where it shines. This can be a signature scent, work scent, daily use scent for spring and summer. Overall smell, 7 bottles out of 10. Again, the compliment factor is huge on this one. The overall smell is so I'm giving it a 7. Seasons, mostly summer and spring for daily use. Now, it's also a solid signature work scent, a top-selling fresh fragrance, and a great starter scent for newcomers out there. Overall score, it is going to keep its old score of 7 bottles out of 10 from 2000.